Hello and welcome back to another episode of Rail People, the podcast from RailStuff. It has been a while, and I did say that I'd do more of these, and I do still intend to. And in fact, it's one of my goals over the summer. Whilst I've got a fewer events, is to get some podcasts recorded. Today's guest is fantastic. We've been wanting to get this done for a while, so I'm looking forward to our conversation. But before that, a couple of bits of news from the rail stuff world. First of all, some of you who follow us on social might have seen that actually recently we had some very good news. We've been awarded a growth grant from Staffordshire County Council and Staffordshire Moorlands District Council, which means that we're going to be investing in some new stuff for rail stuff. So watch this space into what that is. But I'm very excited to have the help from this grant, and it will certainly give us a real leg up to grow quicker than otherwise might have happened. So that was some great news last week. And then the other thing is, in fact, I found out the news about the grant whilst I was having a conversation with somebody else. And this is a bit of a sneak peek into something that's about to happen. But some of you may have seen that over the past few weeks, I've been doing some work with Richard Watson from New Junction, working on some of his merch with him, but also then he started designing some of his own kits, which are lovely, and I sold it on his behalf. We kind of got thinking a little bit, and we want to do more. So watch this space for some more collaborative work between Rail Stuff and New Junction. Um, and Richard and in fact, I got to go and play trains at New Junction last week, which was very, very exciting. And yeah, we had a good long chat about things, and you can expect to see more in the near future. But that's enough of me whittering on about anything rail stuff related. So let's get on with this week's chat. So this, I think, is our very first guest who has his own Wikipedia page. And not just that, but he has his own IMDb page as well. You know, the site where you go when you can't remember the name of somebody that you're seeing in a film. Anyway, he spends some of his time colorizing photos, but also loves anything railway in popular culture, which led to the creation of his business, Buggleskelly Station. Now, most of you will know who I'm talking about by now, but if you don't, let me introduce to you Tom Marshall. Tom, good morning.
Good morning, Adam. Thanks for having me.
And how are you?
Got a bit of a cold. I'm getting over a bit of a cold, but otherwise I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Is it? I'm not too bad. I'm not too bad. It's shaping up to be a warm day, so
It's shaping up to be the hottest week of the year, I think, unfortunately.
yeah, it is. This is why I'm glad of my Facebook Marketplace special air conditioner for the shed, which serves me well. But I've had to turn it off for the duration of this because it is a little noisy. So
Yeah,
yeah, I may be a sweaty mess by the end of this, but at least I can cool down afterwards.
at least will sound good.
So we're talking on a Monday morning, which is I think we just said to each other before we got started, there are worse things to be doing with a Monday morning. So, but I appreciate you uh chatting to me on the first day of the week.
That's all
Um,
right. When I feel
but
the freshest.
well, I don't. Well, I don't because it means I've had a weekend with a crazy toddler. So I'm shattered on a Monday, and then things get better as the week goes on. But look, there's lots of exciting things that we can talk about with Buggleskelly and even about you and your background. And I'm sorry to start in such a serious way, but we have to get certain things out of the way. Uh, Tom, what is your favourite cheese?
Oh, I've been waiting for this. Well, it's actually a really difficult question to answer because I've got a few. I'm a big cheese man. Um, I mean, I grew up in Melton Mowbray, which is the home of Stilton cheese. So Stilton is a big one for me. But I also love a nice strong cheddar.
Oh yeah.
So Sam at Emperor's Path actually got me onto Black Bomber, which I've had more recently than I've ever had in my life. We've been to Wales a couple of times. Went on holiday a couple of weeks ago, and we went to the Awdry X again a couple of weeks ago, just before that. And each time I bought a little, is it called a chuckle? Not a chuckle. What's it called?
Is it a truckle?
Truckle, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, a truckle of Snowdonia Black Bomber. Oh, and it's nice. It's very nice. It's like a slightly creamy, but very strong, like a mature cheddar. And I'm a mature cheddar man, so yeah, any mature cheddar really, but that's particularly nice. I can thank Sam for getting me onto that one.
So that'll be I mean, you will have heard that from Sam's appearance on what I think was the very first episode of this podcast.
Yes, and he, for some reason, he does send messages about it quite frequently.
That sounds about right for Sam. I tell you what, it was nice to actually catch up with Sam a couple of weeks ago at the Chatham exhibition. And in fact, it
Don't
was
you mean at Chatham?
Chatham, yes. It was it was it was really nice. In fact, it was a little bit like a who's who of the RAILpeople podcast at one point because Dave from Bunter's Yard was there, and yeah, it was just it was
It's a
nice to
great
see
show.
everyone.
Unfortunately, we had to miss it this year. We went last year, but this year, well, every year it clashes with the Audrey X, and we just wanted to go to that this
Mm.
time because it was the last one. But next year we'll be back at Chatham. So yeah, it's a great show.
It was. I really enjoyed it. The only problem we had was on the Friday, the setup day. Inside, it was 32 degrees.
Yeah,
Um,
it's just a big metal box, isn't it?
It is, and for anyone who's ever seen me setting up, you'll know that on the
I've seen you
coldest of
setting up.
cold days, I'm a sweaty mess. So
Yeah,
imagine me on 32 degrees.
yeah, yeah.
Anyway, look, I know a little bit about Buggleskelly and how it came around and things like that, but there'll be a lot of people who don't. So for those uninitiated in what you do, can you explain Buggleskelly Station and what it's all about?
How do you explain Buggleskelly Station?
Well, I was hoping
Um,
you could do that.
yeah. Well, I mean, okay, I'll go back to the start. Um, I've been I've been selling wagons, like customized daypole wagons for over 10 years with sort of different designs on. But I run the Will Hay Appreciation Society, which is, if you don't know Will Hay, he was a 1930s, 1940s comic. He was after George Formby. He was the biggest box office drawer in the UK for
Mm.
about 20 years. So he was a massive star in the 30s and 40s. And I set up the Will Hay Appreciation Society when I was at uni, 2009. And I've basically, long story short, I sell merchandise and stuff, Will Hay. So I started selling railway wagons about 10 years ago, sort of tied in with the time that I was building dioramas for kind of like cheap, not cheap dioramas. Makes it sound really bad. Simple dioramas with Metcalf kits and stuff. So
Yep.
I'd buy the Metcalf kits. I was doing it as a way because I didn't have a job at the time, so I could spend a week or so working on something and then sell the diorama at the end of it. They look good, but they were not the sort of thing that I do now.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I was running the Will Hay Appreciation Society. I was selling the wagons, and so I've been doing that just over 10 years. But then I sort of made it into a more formal business about 3 years ago, I think, when it's now the main thing that I do with a dedicated website, and we do the shows around the country. And it sort of came at a time when my other business, which is colorizing black and white photos, started to take a dip because of basically AI coming in and ruining that business, more or less.
Mhm.
Not
Yeah.
completely. I still get a bit of colorized photo work from museums, and I've just done a big job for Channel 4 for a TV
Oh,
show.
nice.
So I still get stuff through, which is great, but it's nowhere near the kind of things I was doing again 10 years ago. So model making is my main business now. So yeah, that's sort of a confusing answer of where Buggleskelly Station came from. It's sort of I wanted to sell the Will Hay stuff, and I wanted to make models of Oh Mr. Porter and other Will Hay films. And I built my own layout, and then people said, "Oh, I love that station that I'd scratch built out of wood and card and stuff." And said, "Can I have one?" I thought, No, because it's taken me 3 weeks to build the station." But it's sort of around that time I started getting into resin 3D printing. So I thought I'll try it. It's quite a complicated building for one of the first things I designed. But yeah, I got into that, taught myself how to 3D design, and now I sell resin buildings and figures, um, all based on sort of film and TV.
Uh, and the name Buggleskelly Station, that's related to the Will Haim
It,
film Oh Mr.
yeah,
Porter, right?
yeah, it's the name of the station in the film. Um, so that's I feel sorry for Will Hay films who aren't model railway people, because when you search Buggleskelly now, you don't get a lot about the film. You just get my website.
Good for you.
Yeah,
That's yeah, that's not a bad thing at all. Um, so you kind of formalized the business as such, you say about 3 years ago?
I think it was about 3 years ago. I mean, I was doing stuff on. Um, it's hard to kind of gauge it really, because I still do photo colorizing, so that's one business, photographics, and that's sort of going on one arm, and the other arm is Buggleskelly Station, and I was trying to work out where one sort of overtook the other, and I think it was about 3 years ago where I was selling a lot through my photographics website. That's the confusing thing. They're both in one website. I'm building a new website just for Buggleskelly Station at the moment,
Right.
just to try and separate it out a bit. But yeah, I'd say about 3 years ago, we've been doing this. I think we've just done third time round for some of the shows. Um, Stamford, where I saw you, that would have been the third year there. So yeah, so it's definitely been 3 years at least that I've been trading as Buggleskelly Station.
And you haven't held back. You've gone for some of the biggest shows as well, haven't you? I see you around at some of the big nationals.
Yeah, well, what I found is when we started, I did the local shows. I did Mount Sorrel was the first show. No, it wasn't the first
You're
show.
based
Sorry.
in sorry, you're based in Lincoln for anyone who
Yeah,
doesn't
we're
know, is that right?
based in Lincoln. I used to live. I grew up in Melton Mowbray, Rutland, and Leicestershire, and then I've moved all around the country. But while I've been doing this, it was Leicestershire. So Mount Sorrel was a local one, and
Oh,
Statfold Barn was one of the first ones that we did. That and Mount Sorrel. And then, I was finding I was doing things like the Nottingham shows, but I tend to find it was the same people at each show for sort of
yep,
smaller shows, which when you're a specialist business, I don't have a massive product range, I'll probably have 10 different wagons at a time, and even my buildings range at the minute is probably only 20 or so designs, and
mm,
figures is about, again, 10 characters, and it's been the same for about 2 years. Um, but I was finding that it was the same people at every show. So once they bought something, unless it's a year later and you've designed new stuff, then it was affecting the sales because they'd already got it. So I took a bit of a risk and went for Worley, I think was the first big show we did, which would have been the last Worley show. And it was like, well, I won't go into the numbers, but we did more at that show than we'd done at most of the other shows for that year combined. Even though it
yeah,
cost a lot of money to do, it made it so worth doing. And we found that now that the bigger shows are the ones that um, they cost a lot of money, but they're definitely worth doing more than sort of smaller local shows. But saying that, I still do small local shows as well, just not as many, because there's some people who won't go to the big shows, so
yep,
you'll only see them at the smaller shows.
yeah. And how is it that you always seem to manage to book the same hotel as me?
Well, I'm like you, I just go for the cheapest one.
Yeah, even if it's a half-hour drive away from the event. Yeah, yeah, exactly. But, no, I do seem to bump into you in hotels quite a lot.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's
that's good.
that's not for the podcast.
No. Exactly that. Well, there may be a late night version of the podcast
Yeah,
sometime, but, yeah. You are supported by your is she your wife? I can't
she
remember if
is, yeah, Kirsty
yes,
Ann, yeah.
yeah, I just couldn't remember whether it was wife or your partner, but, she seems to be everywhere with you as well. That's a really nice thing for you to do together.
Yeah, I don't know how much she enjoys it really, but, she's she's beginning to sort of I think she's getting used to doing the shows is the best way to put it, and, yeah, it is useful. I mean, as you know, doing something on your own, it's hard to be able to have 5 minutes, um, if
Yep.
you need to nip to the loo or something, you need to ask someone to watch you stand, or I just find it a lot easier with the setup to have someone there with me. There's a few shows I've had to do on my own, um, which is just means it takes longer to set up and take down, so it is always useful to have Kirsty Ann there with me, and it also means that when people come up and talk to me, because they do, um, not necessarily there to buy anything, but it's still nice to chat, it just means she can work the order so she can,
Yep.
serve people while I'm rabbiting on about stuff, or they come to talk about YouTube or something, or
Yeah,
voices,
you can
or all
chat
these things. Yeah,
without worrying about losing sales because of it,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, good. Well, it's nice to see the pair of you out on the road together.
Thank you, and nice to
We
see you as well at shows. I keep seeing you at random places.
Yes, where is your next random place?
We're at Loughborough next weekend. Um,
Well, that's next weekend, yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and then trying to think what we've got. Oxford in. I think we've only got one show in September, which is Oxford. It's a show we've never done before for Oxrail. Um, and then we're at. I should know this. Fareham,
Okay,
um,
yeah.
which again is a new show, South Coast.
Mhm.
The Rapido Rail X, which will be exciting because I've never done that one before. That was one we were
Yep.
invited to um, by the guys at Rapido, which is really cool. Um, and Gaydon as well, Gaydon next month, which I think you'll be at, I imagine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it'll be my 4th year at Gaydon. It's a great show.
It is, yeah.
I always recommend it highly. It's, especially if you're into cars as well, because being at the British Motor Museum, you can get to have a wander around there as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great location for a show. So
I just hope they
yeah.
turn the volume down on whichever layout we're next to this time. That was the only issue with Gaydon last year, is we were opposite something with diesels, and it was DCC sound, and constant. It was like having a Hoover on for everyone cheered when the sound went off. Like the power cut out at one point, and everyone in the room cheered.
Oh
Which should
no.
have, yeah, no, which probably should have given them the message, but sometimes it's a bit intrusive if you're next to it all the time.
Yeah, and actually we had this conversation at Stanford, didn't we, about and in fact it was before your neighbour turned up, which I found hilarious because we
Oh,
were
the
talking
DC
about
sound guy.
yeah, we were talking about the frustrations of DCC sound,
Yeah.
which I love, but sometimes when you're next to it all day, it can get a little bit much. Yeah, the ones that always get me is the loud birds, and I always end up looking around the room going, "What's a bloody bird in it?" Oh no, it's the layout next to me.
It's the
And then
American level crossing bells
oh
is the worst
yes.
thing to be opposite.
Uh, so we had this conversation, then your neighbour turned up, it's Mark's Trains or something like that, based over in Peterborough.
Yeah.
Lovely guy. He turned up and, he said, "Right, I sell DCC sound." And we thought he was gonna be
Yay.
demoing it all weekend, but thankfully it was,
Thankfully, he wasn't, thankfully.
no, 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 but, yeah, that did make me chuckle when I heard him walk up and say what he was doing. Um, anyway, so you already mentioned Will Hay. I think I don't know much about Will Hay. And in fact, the first time I saw because you normally have a banner with you that's the Will Hay Appreciation Society,
Yeah.
and first time I saw it, because I'm a motorsport fan, and if you're not, this reference will make no sense whatsoever. But back in the '90s, there used to be a British touring car driver called Will Hoy,
Okay.
and first time I saw your banner, I thought, Will Hoy Appreciation Society? Really? What's that doing? And then I read it closer and realized. But now I know a little bit about him. he's the kind of person that even modern day comedians often call back to as one of their inspirations.
Yeah, I mean, his films were they were ahead of their time. If you watch Mr. Porter now, I mean, I still find it as funny as anything nowadays. But a lot of the sort of early sitcom writers in the 50s and 60s, like Dad's Army and stuff, a
Mm.
lot of their characters and situations were based on the Will Hay film, so they were all quite heavily influenced by him and his films. But he's one of those people that if you say George Formby now, people know who you're talking about. Actually, saying that, but if I go back 10 years ago and you said George Formby, most people would know. Arthur Askey, most people would know. But Will Hay wasn't as well known. But
Yeah.
now I think we've got 10,000 members in the society. Um,
Wow.
and his films are being shown on things like Talking Pictures, which shows old films on TV. And there's been a bit of a revival of people knowing about Will Hay now. So yeah, he's a bit more well known, but he was definitely not in the sort of he wasn't in the public consciousness like Laurel and Hardy, who were his contemporaries. But yeah, now it's a bit better than it was.
10,000 members. That's and you set
I
that up,
wish I was
right?
charging membership.
But you set that up, so that must be a really, really nice feeling for you to have that many
It
members.
is, yeah, because we've got the membership includes his grandchildren and the child like the children of his co-stars and people who were involved with the films, whoever's well, not that there's anybody surviving now, to be honest. The last guy who acted with Will Hay was a member of the society who passed away a couple of years ago.
Oh,
But
no.
because we're talking 1930s, 1940s. But
Mm.
yeah, it's awesome to know there's that many people who care enough about it and remember them fondly. There's a lot of fans and people buy stuff. I sell T-shirts and mugs and model railway wagons and all these sorts of things related to the Will Hay films, and there's still that market there, which is obviously a good thing for me, and it's a good thing for the memory of him and his films in
That's
general.
fantastic. I'll confess I've never seen any, but,
You need to watch
um
Mr. Porter if you're a railway fan. It's it's just a fun film anyway, but shows so much stuff about. It was filmed on the where was it filmed? Uh, oh dear,
it was down
gone.
south, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the Alton, Basingstoke and Alton Light Railway.
Right.
And they used a loco from the Kent and East Sussex. It was filmed in 1937, but it's got all these things for rail history. You know, there's things on film that you don't see anywhere else. There's like
Mm.
one of the first Silver Link shows in the first scene, which was when she was a brand new loco and it was shown off on film. There's all these things for rail sort of historians as well as comedy fans. It's definitely worth watching, and it's just a good fun film as well.
Well, I'll have to dig it out and see if I can watch it. Where can people watch it? Do you know off the top of your head? Is it
The
on
Will Hay
any
Facebook page.
platforms? Oh, right,
They're
okay,
they're
so
all
it's
on
as
our
simple as that.
Facebook page. They're on YouTube as well. Different people have uploaded them all to YouTube. I used to have them on my channel, but I had a few issues with YouTube and copyright and stuff, so they're not on there anymore.
YouTube causing problems?
I
Surely
know.
not. Surely not. Well, let's just talk about YouTube because you have got a YouTube channel. So I think
Yes.
you're around 10,000
I
subscribers.
wish. No, I'm working towards 10,000. That's gonna be a big day when that happens. I've been at
Well,
about
you're not far off
9,000 for a
though, are
couple
you?
of years. 9.5 now.
Yeah.
It is gradually creeping up, but, yeah, I'm kinda working towards that 10,000 goal, which was last year I had a bit of trouble with YouTube where they demonetized my channel for something stupid. I didn't do anything wrong. I
Uh,
I I have TikTok and things. I'm on every channel, on every, platform, but I'd uploaded a video that I put on TikTok, and it had the little watermark, TikTok watermark on it,
oh
and
no.
YouTube said, "Oh, you're uploading someone else's content," even though it was my video because it had come from there. They demonetized my channel, and I couldn't get back on for about 6 months, into the monetization program. So it really set me back with it affected following and all this kind of thing. So I think I'd have been at 10,000 last Christmas if that hadn't happened, the way that the channel was going. But now, yeah, gradually building back up again to it. So it's a good, it's awesome. 9,500 followers is amazing. Yeah, I'm really pleased with it so far.
Yeah, as somebody who has or is still going through the partner program onboarding process, I can vouch for the fact that it's not easy to get support when there are things that are problems, and yeah, quite often you find yourself just with the recommendation of yeah, just go talk to the community because we
It's
can't support
awful,
you with
actually. I
this.
think YouTube is one of those things where AI's great when it works or when it's for something really useful, but when it's replacing humans to talk to
Yeah.
who can actually do stuff for you, then I absolutely hate it. And that's the thing with YouTube is that it has these verification processes which don't use humans at all. And it's just an AI has deemed your video unacceptable or whatever. We won't give you a reason, but you can reapply again in 3 months. So I don't know the reason. I don't know what to change before I reapply
Yep.
because there's no human to talk to. It's just an AI bot, and seems to be the way that everything's going now. It's just a lazier way of working and a less efficient way because it takes you twice as long to get anywhere with it.
Yeah, my issue is, you know, not to derail the conversation too much with this, but when I signed up and got the AdSense account to go with it, I registered as a business
Yeah.
because I am a business, but I'm not a VAT registered business, and I operate as a sole trader. And they ask to verify your company details, and of course they want your either a VAT registration or your company's house incorporation
Yeah.
document, or proof that you are a charity. And I said, well, I can't provide any of those things. So in the end, the solution was, well, re-register, but as a personal user. But by the way, you can't change your account for another 32 days, or oh, it's just yeah. It's been a nightmare from start to finish, and it's still not sorted. But we'll get there eventually. We'll get there
That's all
eventually.
fun and games, isn't it?
Yeah, so I can get my £2.50 out of YouTube or whatever
Yeah,
it is.
that's the other thing. You don't make a lot of money on it. People who say, "Oh, wow, you're a YouTuber. That must be," you don't make anything on it. No wonder people do things like Patreon and stuff like that, and yeah, get support directly from fans because YouTube ads and stuff pay nothing. Like there's hardly any, unless you've got 1 million subscribers.
Yeah,
There's no
and
way
then it pays
there's no way of earning money
really
off
quite well.
like living off YouTube.
Yeah, no, no, unless you are one of the big boys, and yeah, I think then there is decent money to be earned, but uh, yeah, at the lower level, certainly not. So anyone who thinks that Tom is raking in thousands a month from YouTube is wildly incorrect. So make sure you head to the Buggleskelly station shop and buy some stuff from him directly instead.
Yeah, good idea. And I
Yeah,
repeat that, go to RailStuff as well and buy some grass
there you go. Yeah, it doesn't have to
and a
be grass,
static
by the
grass
way.
applicator.
Oh yeah, okay, go for one of those. Yeah, I think I've got stock at the moment. So yeah, but look, you've mentioned the word Awdry a couple of times,
Yeah, sorry,
and
I was
that
trying to avoid that.
really, because it
That's
seems to be a big part of what you do as well. So
yeah,
big fan then?
big fan. A big fan of the original books. Um, well, it's we're I think we're a similar age. I think you might be a couple of years older than me, but we're a similar age.
Yeah, in fact,
Um,
I checked because I saw on your Wikipedia page, it's very cool that you got a Wikipedia page, that you
as if it's all
did.
correct.
Sorry, that was a mug falling over on my desk. If you heard that, that
Was it a
was
RailStuff mug?
no,
Was it a
it's one
New
with
Junction
flowers
mug?
on. Uh, um, what was I saying? Oh yes, that's right. I saw that you went to university in Lincoln,
Yeah.
and you did. Was it media production?
Yes, yeah. So I specialised in script and screenwriting, which is
Okay.
completely random. But yeah, so I basically wrote a film as my dissertation, and I wrote a thing on Will Hay. So completely nothing to do with model railways, but
The I
yeah.
mean, the reason why that stood out to me was that my second choice university was Lincoln,
Oh, thanks very much.
um, and it was to do I assume it was the same course that I ended up doing. I think it was broadcast journalism. So I did broadcast journalism at Staffordshire University, but my second choice was Lincoln. Yeah, because we are a similar age, if I had have ended up there, there's a chance we might have crossed paths back in those days. So yes, I did check, and you are, I think, 3 years younger than me.
Okay.
So yeah,
So
but anyway,
we probably both grew up with Thomas on TV. I don't know
yeah, I
if
had
you
some
did.
Thomas the Tank wallpaper as well.
Yeah, I still do. No, I don't really. I don't really, but I have just bought a clock with Thomas on it because I bought one for my nephew's christening at the weekend. I thought, oh, that's really nice. I want one myself, so I bought one for myself. But no, I don't. I grew up with Thomas, and it was through Thomas that I got into railways
Mm.
and the TV show that got me into model making. So yeah, I've always loved that side of it. But then it also, when probably 5 years ago, maybe I I joined um, well, Twitter. I still call it Twitter. Um,
Yep.
there was a big Thomas fandom, which was basically people who made their own stuff, and they made YouTube series with models and stuff. And I thought, this is amazing. This is people making their own stories and things. And I kind of got into back into it again, into the love of those characters and things a few years ago on Twitter and YouTube and stuff. So yeah, that's it's still a big part of my life. Um, yeah, the Awdry stories, and people keep asking me to do their voices in videos and things. So yeah, that still goes on.
We'll come on to the voices bit in a bit. Um, but I tell you what, now is as good as time as any to hit you with the quick fire questions. So,
Oh God,
um, I think I've got one, two, three, four, five. I've got six quick fire questions.
are they all about
Um,
Thomas?
no, no, they're not. No, no.
Okay,
These are very much about your preferences. It does start with Thomas,
of course it does.
but it had to. Um, but it's very much the first thing that comes to your mind is what I'm looking for as your answer. So it's
Okay,
very much your gut feeling we're after here, which is why the first question is Thomas or Percy.
Thomas, because he's a. Can I swear? Yeah, Thomas.
Yeah, you can swear. It's fine. I don't
Thomas,
think we have any.
because originally, it's not going to be quick fire. This originally in the books, Thomas was a absolute twat. Um, he was like miserable and complaining all the time, and that's funny to me. Like the new Thomas, the kids show, recent years, he's not Thomas, proper Thomas, but original Thomas from the books. He was like cheeky. Cheeky is not the word. He's yeah, and I love Grumpy Thomas, and every the model that I have of Thomas, which is an O gauge print that someone in the US did for me. Um, I only have the grumpy faces on him because it just makes me laugh to see him miserable all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
So Thomas,
So it's been interesting watching some back because obviously now having a child myself and he's bang on the right age, then we tend to put some of the older Thomas stuff on that you find on YouTube. I mean, uh, it's like Postman Pat is all the old stuff on YouTube. Fireman Sam is absolutely all the old stuff. I mean,
yeah,
the new
it's
Fireman Sam.
so much better. It's so much better because I've got my niece and nephew. I've got two. Well, I've got three. Two of them are 3 years old, and they're just at that right age. So whenever
Yeah,
they're over, first thing I put on is series one of Thomas.
yep,
It's like because I enjoy watching that anyway.
yep,
Um, and yeah, it's so much better than whatever it's become now. It's like become a babyish like cartoon show, which is
yes.
sad, really.
I mean, the newer Postman Pats, I think you can just about get away with. It's got the stupid special delivery service stuff on top,
Yeah.
but it's still got a feeling of the old Pat. Modern day Fireman Sam is just offensive. It is absolutely horrendous. But whereas the original
It's all when
is
it went to
just
CGI and stuff, isn't it? And the charm of these was the fact that they were made with real models, and that I think is why they were so inspiring to people to get into model railways, you know,
it was the voices as well,
and the voices. Yeah,
especially in Fireman Sam, all the Welsh voices
are
and
they not Welsh
not just
anymore?
I don't know, it might be, but you know, you probably wouldn't have the stereotypes like Bella Lasagna, who runs the Italian cafe,
Norman
and
Price.
exactly. Um, yeah, so it's been great being able to watch some of that again, and Thomas as well. You know, I grew up with the Ringo Starr stuff, and
Yeah,
you know, for me, yeah, in terms of visual version of Thomas, that's it. Is
yeah.
that original age, and again, like you say, the fact that it was made with real models is just. I mean, what a thing for what we do as a hobby. That this used to be television programs.
I know. Yeah, and there seemed to be a lot more on TV then of model railways than there is now. It's a shame, really.
Yeah,
It's a shame.
yeah,
The only stuff we get now is sort of it's just people pander down to it. Really, is the best way I can say it. It's like if there's a model railway thing on TV now, it seems to be done sort of from an outsider's point of view, looking at the anoraks. A
yeah.
bit like the Hornby series a couple of years ago.
Mm,
Never felt very enjoyable to watch, even though I knew a few people on it, and that was sort of the reason I watched it, for a few people I knew in the episodes. But the series as a whole kind of felt like it was taking the piss really a bit more than um, being with like the Bob Symes shows in the 70s and 80s. He was obviously passionate about it, and that came through. But now, if you ever see model railways on stuff, it just tends to be a bit kind of like we're viewed through
yeah,
as the nerds we are.
yeah. Which we are, and that's
We
fine.
are.
But you know, you don't have to take the piss.
No,
Yeah,
we can do
and
that
even some of the
ourselves.
stuff that I saw around the Greatest Gathering, which I can't believe we
Yeah.
didn't bump into each other. We were there on the same day.
Well, to be honest, there were
Um,
that many people there. There were
yep,
so many people. I said, "Oh, you were there, were you?" Like people I've known for years, and they were there on the Sunday as well. And it's just such a big place.
yeah,
Um,
and we had to keep sprinting out of the rain as well, because when that
yeah,
rain came, oh my word, it came.
yeah. But
Um,
that's a good example of railways in general. Like we were driving back from holiday on the Friday and listening to Radio Two, and it was the Jeremy Vine show, which I don't normally listen to. But
no,
I listened to it because he was coming live from the Greatest Gathering, but it was just, like, so cringy, like,
yeah,
how mainstream media p like, depicts railway fans is just like, oh, like, he was getting everything wrong, calling it a furnace and a steam train handle or whatever it was. I don't know what you're saying, but
yeah. I
it's just
saw
such
some of the BBC stuff that would be like, "Choo choo! Look at all of these train fans." It's like just I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we're taking it too personally. I don't know, but
maybe.
look back to the quick fire.
Yes,
Um,
that was a good first
uh,
question.
the slowest quick fire there is. Um, Diesel, electric, or steam?
Yes. Um,
No.
uh, I can't really. It used to be steam 100%. I do like early diesel. I'm gonna say steam.
Okay. Yeah. And that's where I assumed you'd go, but um, it was obviously closer than I thought.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind electrics, but I think sort of steam, like 50s and 60s is a good era for me,
Mm,
because you got the earlier diesels. Like, I love a Class 37. They're
Mm.
fantastic, and I love a small shunting diesel or a small steam engine, like a little Peckett. So yeah, I'll say steam, but I'm borderline really.
Yeah. I still sit firmly in the diesel category, and I don't know why, because I grew up around electric. Anyway, um, but thinking a little bit more scenic now, because obviously rail stuff is very much focused on scenics and accessories
Yes,
and all the stuff that goes around it. Static or scatter?
static, 100%.
I was disappointed in you though.
Why?
I was watching back the Can We Build a Diorama in 24 Hours with Laurie and TMC the other day, and you did static grass with a fly swat.
Yeah, but do you know why?
Is
Because
that all you were
we
provided?
weren't allowed our own tool. We weren't allowed to take anything, and so I took that so it fitted in my bag. Basically, I snuck that in. That was another. The rules were so vague on that.
Well, you still managed to push the vague rules,
Yeah, but I
from
took
what
a
I saw.
little saw, like a bread knife type saw,
Yeah,
and I all these things just in my little bag because we didn't know if we could take a proper static grass applicator. That would have been I don't know if that would have been bending the rules too much, but yes, yeah, it's a little fly swatter. Unfortunately, it was either that or a puffer bottle, which I know you
I'd
wouldn't have
see.
approved
I
of.
would probably go for a puffer
Oh,
over
would you?
over a fly swap.
Okay.
I will forgive you. I will forgive you on this occasion. Would you prefer to build a diorama or a layout?
For what purpose? I want to work on my layout because I haven't done anything on it for about 3 years. But I did build dioramas for work, so I say diorama because I can get it started and finished in a couple of weeks, and that's quite a satisfying thing. Whereas the layout,
And
as I say, is many years' work, which I just never get round to doing.
yeah, isn't it amazing how so many of us in the industry, because we work in the industry, then don't have time for it as our own hobby? But I'm
Yeah,
the same. I mean, obviously, I'm building the £100 layout right now, and thank you for your support with that. By the way, it's
that's all
been
right.
been
It's been
greatly
interesting. I'm
appreciated.
looking forward to see how you spend £6 over 3 months.
I can spend £6 in 3 seconds.
Yeah,
So
that's the problem.
yeah, I'm gonna have to get very creative. And maybe I went the wrong way with the new stuff, but hey, I
I
wanted
think
to
you did
try it. And
personally. I
y-
think when you first got that double O gauge set, I thought, brilliant. That's what I'd have done. I'd have gone second hand, double O, and done a very small thing, and then just had more budget for the scenics. But you know, you are where you're at now. I'm not going to criticise you.
I think it would have given me like an extra £12 on Scenics.
Yeah.
Um,
Think how much static grass you could buy. One
well,
bag.
yeah, one jar is 11.95.
I know. No, I wouldn't have bought that one. No. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think there may well be an opportunity for me to repeat this challenge for myself and to try a different method.
I'm really
Um,
enjoying it, by the way. I like sounds daft, but I like the fact that you don't get much done each week. Because it's like there's so many no, there's so many videos that I watch where you enjoy the presenter, like I do with your videos, but they get it all done in one thing. A bit like my stuff, I'd try and do a video and start to finish and it's done. But I think
mm,
if I was watching that, I might prefer to watch it spread out over a few weeks. So yeah, I'm enjoying that side of it. So if you did another one, like different challenge or whatever, I'm sure people would tune in to watch it because they're watching you as much as they're watching the thing come together. If that makes sense.
yeah, yeah, and it's interesting. There was like the introduction to all of it. Um, the numbers on that were way bigger than any of the individual episodes. But I think all of the individual episodes now have pretty much the same viewer numbers, each and every single one of them, which means that I've now got that sort of core of people that are coming back to it, and that's great. And um, yes, some of the like when I was talking about the fact that I've only got £6 odd left, the next day, my inbox had this huge long email from a guy with an amazing list of ideas of things that I could do with that, and that has been the eye opener for me. Is the comments and the advice and the ideas has been, yeah, it's just
That's
been
the thing
fantastic.
that that's the best thing about social media. I think for me personally, that's kind of the reason that I still enjoy doing this because, as you know, if you're doing it for a living, it doesn't become a hobby anymore.
Yeah.
But I still enjoy even the fact that I might be painting the same buildings with people. I can think of little photos and things and post something online or a little video,
Mm,
and I'll get loads of positive comments and feedback from people, and I really enjoy that. I've found that that's the side of it that I enjoy is kind of sharing stuff and is probably the social media side of it um, more than even the model making sometimes.
yeah, yeah. I, I I I know exactly what you mean. I get a massive kick from getting a 5-star review that
Yeah,
is, about um the maybe the help I've offered, or just the service they've got, or whatever. Um, on the flip side, it hurts me personally when I get a bad review.
yeah,
but
yeah,
um, but yeah, it's lovely to know that you're sort of doing something that people want, which is great. Um, next one on
I
our
can't remember
slowest
what that
quick fire
question
ever.
was.
Well, we just did diorama or layout, and
Oh
we
yeah,
got there.
diorama, yeah.
Um, Wash or pigment?
Ooh, I'd say pigment probably because you can make a wash from it.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. See, that was an answer I gave recently as well. Is that I find pigments are really versatile, whereas a wash is a wash.
Yeah,
Pretty much whereas a pigment, you can use it in so many different ways. So, yeah, good. And then final one is brush or airbrush?
brush. I've never used
Brush.
an airbrush in my life.
Really?
Yeah,
So it
I
might be that airbrush is a winner for you. You just don't know.
it might be. Thing is though, I watch he's not a railway modeler. He does Matchbox cars, Marty's Matchbox makeovers, and he's an Australian guy, and he does up old Matchbox cars, which
Wow.
is really relaxing to watch. He basically strips them down and paints them all. But every time he's using the airbrush, it's basically it shows how much cleaning up he has to do after, and I think I can't be bothered with, I can't be bothered to clean it. I'll be cleaning it more than I'll be using it. Um, and I think I get a lot of control with the brush as well. So when I'm painting figures, it's a lot easier just to, use a brush and wash it out straight away and it's done. You don't have to stress about cleaning kit and stuff because I'm quite messy. So I
Yeah, me
wouldn't
too.
clean the brush. That's the problem. I'd probably use it a couple of times and then ruin it, I think.
Oh, I'm lucky if I get a couple of uses out of a brush. I'm terrible. Just ask my dad. Yeah, we worked on a layout together a few years ago, and my dad is very, very tidy and very precise about where things go. And I think actually he spent very little time modeling and most of his time just tidying up after my chaos.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
yeah, because
that's a
I'm.
bit like what it's like for me, really. The office that I'm in at the minute, we moved house about 6 months ago. So I've got everything in this one room at the minute while I'm sorting out a studio for my printers and stuff. So at the minute, I've got everything in here. And I'm balancing stuff on the side of like on the top of boxes and things, and I've got nowhere to put newly printed buildings and things like that. I'm
Mm.
just far too messy to run a business really.
I know, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. This is why my stock sits in a separate location to where I am all the time, because then
Yeah,
I can mess with it less. Um, but so you mentioned about 3D printing. What printers do you use for those that might be interested?
I do. It's all resin printing. I use Anycubic as the brand that I've got. So I've currently got. I'm just looking behind me. I've got 5 printers. They're all Anycubic brand, and basically, yeah, just I've not got them printing at the minute because we're recording, and as I say, we're in the same room. But generally, they're printing 24/7 when I can remember to set the new print going. Um,
Yeah.
because I've got a lot of orders to get out, thankfully. I mean, I've got a lot of backup from a few months ago because we had a holiday, first time in 2 years, and then came back to needing to do loads of work, which is always fun.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's good that you had a holiday though. Everyone needs it, so
Yeah,
so that's good. Well, that's interesting. I've just bought my first 3D printer.
yeah.
Uh,
Resin or FTM.
no, I've gone filament.
Yeah.
Um, so there's certain things that I wanted to do that I don't need the smoothness of resin. And you know how you see things about airbrushes and go, oh, the cleaning looks like a lot of effort. I look
Mm.
at resin stuff and go, oh, the curing and it's just
The resin
no.
clean, it's the worst thing about it. Well, actually, the worst thing about it is that you use IPA to clean it, and you could breathe it in. It's not very nice. But
You drunk most days then?
yeah, I'm drunk. I'm drunk all the time. I'm drunk now. Nothing to do with the IPA. But yeah, the resin cleaning it's a lot messier than FDM. So I think you've gone down the right route if you're not in it for the very fine detail because it's a
No.
lot cleaner to use. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes, but that was my first purchase from the grant that we received. So
Oh
yeah,
yes, yeah,
and I've gone with the new to market Elegoo Centuri Carbon.
yeah.
Um,
Elegoo's a good brand. Yeah, I've got their curing system, which is another thing you have to do with resin, unlike FDM, is you have to wash it and then cure it to make it safe to use. So yeah, that you're cutting out a lot of steps with FDM.
yep, and that was exactly what I wanted to cut out. So good. Well, yeah, what are the plans now? Because I know you made some adjustments to your business a couple of months ago, just certain things that were becoming a bit difficult to manage as the business grows. But what's the sort of long term goal? Where do you want to go with it all?
Um, I don't know really. At the minute, I'm fairly happy with the business. Um, yeah, a couple of months ago, I basically stopped taking painted orders because I'm still at the minute. I've just finished a job painting some buildings for somebody this week. I've got about a 3 month turnaround, and it was getting to the point where every day I'm painting, and I didn't have time to do anything else in the business. So, as you'll probably know, you probably have a day's worth of admin every week, and then you getting all your orders out, which takes a good few hours a day to get orders out. And we have post collection about 5 o'clock every day. And it was just kind of getting to the stage where I don't have time to do this, and I could take someone on, but I'm, I, I mean, I'm a bit like Dan Everson in that respect, where I know my business and how to do what
Oh,
I do, and I don't know if I'd trust anybody else to do the things that I know how to
yep,
do. I know it's stupid because there's plenty of people who'd be able to do it, I think, if I taught them my way of painting or whatever. But yeah, I just got to the stage where I decided to stop selling the painted buildings, and now I can just crack on with resin prints, build up the range that I've got, and work on other things that I enjoy a bit more, like building dioramas and making YouTube videos of them. Because that's I'm doing the Pico 200 challenge at the minute, and I've got as far as building the baseboard and 3D printing a viaduct, and I've not had time to just take 2 days and film it, which is what I need to do. And I think when I've got to past these painted buildings and I'm just selling unpainted ones, it'll be so much easier because I can literally print stuff, wash and cure it in one day, send the orders out, and I don't have to spend plus another evening to paint that building, another day to paint that. You know what I mean. Anyway,
oh, absolutely, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It makes a lot of sense to me, and there's plenty of people out there that can offer painting services for
yeah,
people that really want to get things painted. So,
And I found that when I was worried about that, that it stressed me out quite a lot, that decision. It took me ages to, because I had the idea of stopping it, and it was about a month before I actually got round to putting a YouTube video out to say that that's what I was doing, because I really
mm,
wasn't sure if it was a good idea or not.
mm,
But then we had our first show after that, which was Locomotion up in County Durham, and people were buying stuff. People were buying unpainted, like ordering unpainted buildings. So I thought, okay, that's good. That not everybody, you know, I think a few people who just bought painted stuff panicked, and I got a load of orders through for painted buildings. So they're the ones that I still got to do. But I think majority of people are happy to paint stuff themselves, or as you say, go to somebody like Dan Everson to paint it, pay somebody to paint it. Yeah,
yeah, I think it makes sense, and it means that hopefully you've got more time to focus on developing more products and putting
exactly.
more out there to market.
Yeah,
So,
that's the plan for the business ongoing. At the minute, among the many things that I'm doing, I'm building a new website, and I want it to be something that you can go on there and you can say, right, I model in T gauge. Click the menu, it says shows everything that's available in T gauge. Or I'm modeling Dad's Army. Click the menu and it shows everything in the Dad's Army range. It's one of those websites that is cleverer than I am, but it's a more, instinctive, is that the word to use?
yeah,
So that's something that I'm working on now. And what I want to be able to do is aim to get a new building done every month, available in every scale from T gauge up to O gauge, and then a new figure a month as well. That's sort of the aim when I'm down to just doing unpainted stuff, so I don't have to
yeah,
spend so much time on the production, and I can spend time on the development of things. And then maybe in a year's time, I might be able to take some staff on. I mean, Kirsty Ann does work for me, and I do pay her legally through HMRC, um, for the shows. But it would be good to get to that stage where maybe I can I can get it to a point where staff can do something, and I don't have to have creative um, creative control of it. It's something easy enough to delegate to somebody else.
yes, yeah, and that's a as you alluded to earlier, that's a tough step to make, especially when you are working on something that is creative, like you say.
Yeah. Well, it was
You have to
burnout.
have.
I just got to the stage where, like, we talk about railway modelling for mental health,
Mm,
and it's really important for a lot of people. But I got to the point where my thing that used to bring me joy for mental health was not enjoyable because of the amount of pressure that I put myself under, um, to get these things done.
yeah.
So yeah, sometimes you just need to kind of step back from it and see what's more important, really.
Well, and also, for the long term future of not just you, but for the business as well.
Yeah,
You need to be able to stay driven and passionate about it for things to survive and thrive. So it
absolutely. And
makes
I've got
perfect
so many
sense.
ideas, and the amount I've had people have say, like, 2 years ago at a show, someone said, "Oh, I could do with some models of the characters from the Railway Children or something."
Mm,
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. I'll put it on my list. 2 years later, I've not started that. These things that I know will be popular, and there's just not enough hours in the day for me to set a day aside to design a figure,
yes.
and to work through it, or design a new building and take on commissions. I do commissions for people where I did some a lady wanted a model of her parents' house, and that was a job that I took on last year, and it took me 6 months from start to finish because of everything
Wow.
else to actually get it done. But I'd love to be in a position where a friend of mine, Lee, at LNR models, he does that. He builds models of people's houses. Um, but he's got a waiting list of a couple of years. But it's
Wow.
kind of it's security, which is really good. So that'd be something awesome to be able to do if someone else is doing the everyday production for me, and I can focus on doing something like that. That would be good. I think probably a couple of years' time for that sort of development, but that would be exciting.
Excellent. Well, that's good to hear. Um, we did mention earlier as well that you do some voice acting work as well. I
I do a
find that
bit, yeah.
particularly interesting because of my uh, well, I suppose my degree background as well. Not that I ever did anything with my degree, apart from host a model railway podcast.
Oh, do you
Um,
host a model railway podcast?
I do, yeah. And if you haven't noticed, you're on it right now. So, um, but you do some voice acting, and so do you get to do much of that these days?
Um, not that much other than stuff for fun, really. I did a what's the last professional thing I did was a video game, and that was about a year ago. But I do stuff for YouTubers mostly. The Unlucky Tug, which are quite a big US Thomas YouTuber. I do all of his videos, which is great fun because people love um, that sort of thing, just to do a bit of narration. But yeah,
Mm.
it's more of a hobby. I do charge for some things now, but I don't have that much time to do it, so I'm turning a lot more down than I do. And that's another thing that would be good to be able to dedicate, say, a couple of days a month just to record things, and then I'll be able to do stuff for people, and it'll be another income stream as well. So that'll be good. But
Yeah.
at the minute, it is just for people I know, and yeah, things that I want to do.
Well, that's great, and I have to say I did this morning whilst yeah, because I always do a bit of last minute prep and last minute research. So whilst I was sat at the computer having a coffee this morning, I had another quick flick through your YouTube page, and I came across the Grand Theft Auto parody video,
Yeah.
which I found quite amusing.
So
My
the
coffee.
guy who animated that, his YouTube channel's Hat Loving Gamer, and he's got 500,000 subscribers, or probably more now, which is really cool. But he does like video game, sort of little animations based on video games. And I've never played I've played GTA, but the last video game I properly played was Age of Empires, which was 20 years ago, 25 years ago. But he's contacted me. I've recorded 3 or 4 different things for him that haven't gone up yet, but they're kind of video game parodies and Thomas the Tank Engine style video game things. So yeah, they've been great fun. But yeah, it's just so random the things that people find, and that GTA one was, yeah, that was great fun.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't done for years. I think, like the rest of the world, I'm waiting with bated breath for the next one to land. But
Yeah.
yeah, I do like a bit of GTA, and
Yes.
it
Yeah.
was quite amusing. Uh, so yeah, I did like that one. But yeah, he's 561,000
Has
subscribers
he?
now. So
Wow. Yeah.
yeah, I might have
Yeah. That'd be
to
nice.
take it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. I'm guessing he's earning more than £2.50 off of his
I
YouTube
think he
channel.
might be. Yeah.
Good. Well, so you said your next show is Loughborough next weekend.
Yes.
Um, so people can come and see you there. Are you doing anything interesting at the start of December?
To start December.
Like
Yes.
Saturday the
Yes.
6th
They're
of
actually 6th
December?
of December. Is Will Hayes' birthday.
Is it
It actually
really?
is. Yeah. And to celebrate, we're going to RailStuff Open Day in the Uttoxeter in Staffordshire.
You're absolutely right. Yes. So yeah, Tom is bringing. You're bringing some dioramas with you, aren't you? Mainly to
Yeah,
show off some of
yeah.
your work.
I'll bring whatever you want me to bring. Um, yeah, I'll have some stuff with me. I'm not going to bring the full range of things that we sell, but I'll bring my buildings, and I'll probably bring my figures,
Yeah.
buildings, and the dioramas to show off. And hopefully, well, hopefully, at that point, I'll have my Pico Challenge diorama done because it's supposed to be done by the end of September. So that'll be a new one to show off, which is T-gauge, which I've never built
Wow.
anything in T-gauge before. It's a ridiculous thing to do, and it's so tiny that I can't even model trees. You know, it's I don't know. So yeah, I'll have that with me. So
Yeah,
that
and
should be
there's me
exciting.
struggling with Engage, and there's you, just
I don't know
yeah.
what I'm. I really no idea what I'm doing. I thought because I don't know if you know about the Pico challenge,
Yeah.
but it's a sort of set size diorama, and there was an option of either building double O so that it can join a modular layout with everybody else's, or do a freestanding diorama in your own scale. And it said freestanding diorama, ideally something that's not powered. And I thought, okay, well, if I do T gauge, I can 3D print all the track and stuff. I don't need to worry about making it motorized.
Yeah.
And I want to just try and fit as much scenery into that small space as possible so that when they see the photo, they think, well, that's a full size layout. And I think, no, it's
Yeah.
not. It's T gauge, which, unless if you don't know, is 1:450 scale. So the yeah, the figures would be about 4 mil high, I think, if that 3 mil high, maybe. Yeah, it's
So, w
it's
how does
ridiculous.
that compare with Z gauge?
Z gauge is 1:220, so it's half the
Oh, so
scale.
it's smaller than Z. Oh
Yeah,
my god.
yeah, it's absolutely tiny. The T stands for 3 mil, so the gauge between the rails is 3 mil.
You're mad. You're
I know,
absolutely mad.
and like I said, I haven't actually started doing anything yet. I've designed the viaduct and I've printed it. I've designed some locos, some diesels, because I didn't want to do steam in that scale because it's far too small to model the. I've, I'm going to do probably a class 50, not a class 50, a class 37, I think, on the bridge, a load of coal wagons, and I've got there's a company called Specialist Aggregates who I think you need to stock if you don't already. Um,
Um, we'll talk about that offline.
all
Tried.
right,
Yeah.
but yeah, they've made some T gauge ballast for me, which is dust, um, which is ridiculous. Um, so yeah, it's all going to be fun when I actually get around to starting it. So I need to set 2 days aside, like I say, and just do it because I'm going to film it all, which is what makes things take so long. Um,
Yes.
take twice as long when you're filming something.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, that'll be fascinating to watch. So I will look forward to I'll look forward to seeing that. And if it ends up at the Rail Stuff Open Day, then I will bring my magnifying glass as well,
Yeah,
so that I can have a look at it in person. Because I'm getting old now, so my eyes are stopping working. So another reason why embarking in Engage was probably a stupid idea, but I'll get there.
yeah, you'll get there.
Excellent. Well, so people can come find you at Loughborough. Plenty of other shows towards the end of the year as well. Big ones. You got Gaydon. Are you doing NEC this year?
Yeah, we're at the NEC. Um,
Excellent.
we've got Gaydon. Spalding's quite a big show.
Yep.
Spalding, then the NEC, RailStuff, which is a massive show, 6th of
Yes.
December. And then Manchester's the last show of the year. But,
Yep.
we're all the big ones in 2026 as well, the London and all those types of things,
Say all the big ones. Are
Doncasters.
you at Getz?
We're at Getz, but not trading. I'm actually going to Getz, saying to go to get drunk, um, going with the Model Rail Replacement podcast gang to have a little day out and a night out in Milton Keynes. So if you're around, I'm sure someone will buy
Uh,
you a drink.
I'm around. Yes. Because I will be trading there for the weekend. It's I love that show. It's a fantastic show. So
I've never been to Getz, and yeah, so I thought I'd experience it for the first time as a visitor. We were invited um, to this year's show, but it clashed with a show that I'd already booked in, I think, somewhere else. No, not sorry, last year's show we were invited to, but it clashed with another show, so I couldn't get to it in the end. But it's one I'd like
was
to
it
do. So
Was it Worley at Statfold it clashed with, wasn't it?
no, we were at Farnham,
Oh,
down
it
down
clashed with
south.
many
Yeah,
shows then.
many shows that weekend. Yeah, I think Worley at Statfold picked the worst weekend they could have chosen for a new show, to be honest. But
Yeah, I think the
yeah,
less said about that, the
yeah,
better.
yeah.
I haven't even seen if they're doing it this year. Are they doing it this year?
I've no idea.
No,
I
no.
know that there's a bit of a sore point with that, but I don't know if you're in the same position, but I'm friends with Tony at Tony's
Yep,
Trains.
yep, same here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Statfold used to be the best show, and like the original Statfold show. And
Yes.
it's sort of a shame, really, that that's not happening anymore. But that's
Yeah.
as much as I'll say.
Yeah, it's pretty much as I'll let myself say on the subject as well. But yeah. Moving on. Um, well, I mean that pretty much wraps us up actually. So I'm looking forward to seeing you on the road throughout the rest of the year. So I think we'll cross over at Gaydon. I'll see
Yeah.
you at Getz, even though you're not
Yes. Yeah.
trading. We'll cross over at NEC. You're not at Stafford, are you?
Not this year, no. Um,
No.
no, it didn't work out, unfortunately, very well for us last year. So
Last year
just
was a very strange year.
yeah, I know it's your local show, isn't it?
It is my local show, yeah, and but I know that it, it I didn't do particularly well there last year either. But I keep going because I don't have hotel costs for that one.
Yeah.
I'm 20
Well,
minutes
we'll
door to
see. The
door, so
customers that would have seen us at Stafford just need to come along on the 6th of December to RailStuff.
absolutely, because it's not that far away.
Yeah.
So yeah, they definitely need to do that. Well, look, we'll bump into each other for real on the road. But Tom, thank you so much for giving up some time on your Monday morning to come and chat about all things Buggleskelly.
That's all right. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Not a problem. Well, that's Tom Marshall from Buggleskelly Station. So go check out their website in its current format, and of course in the future when he relaunches in the new format as well, which is great to hear the progress that's being made at Buggleskelly, and also that information about the background and where it all came from, and Tom's passions. If you haven't seen any of Tom's work, then go take a look at his YouTube channel as well. When you see there's a video about making of a cottage from an Awdry scene, which just superb and very very relaxing videos as well.
Thank
You
you.
probably
Some people have said they fall asleep to my videos.
well,
See how I feel
you've got
about
one of
that.
those soothing voices, which is you could certainly read bedtime stories for children.
Oh,
That would be
thanks.
great. But yeah, so go watch that video as well. Take a look at everything else on his channel, and of course, go support Tom in everything that he does. From me here at Rail Stuff on the Rail People podcast, we are just about done. Just a quick reminder that, of course, you can pick up your scenics and accessories from rail-stuff.com. That's rail-stuff.com. And of course, for you podcast listeners, especially if you've managed to get this far through, then you are entitled to 10% off anything and everything at Rail Stuff using the code POD10. That's all in capitals, no spaces. POD10. Stick that in at checkout, and you have 10% knocked off your total bill. So enjoy that. Enjoy listening to the back catalogue, and I promise there will be more soon. Thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.